We are your home theater and AV questions answered. This is AVRant. Want your home theater or AV question answered by Tom and Rob? Send it to question@avrant.com. Welcome to AVRant. I'm Tom Andry, and I'm here with
Rob H.
Yuri. Tom, meaning me, my hopes were fulfilled. Yuri does live in Russia.
Yeah.
Although not close to Eastern Europe, but rather the far side near China and the Pacific Ocean. I'm okay with that.
That is
I didn't
still
really
Russia.
care. That's still Russia.
Very
as long
much.
as it's still Russia. Hell no. Hell no. Anyways, so awesome, Yuri. Welcome to the podcast. And I think we've gotten all the continents now and most of the major countries.
Antarctica. We are missing Antarctica.
I don't think we're gonna get a whole lot of listeners down there. I mean, they might be there. They're not building home theaters there. He also has another question. His living room is 12 feet by 18 feet by 8, but is open in every direction to the rest of his house, his apartment. So therefore, it is not that. It is. He lives in an igloo. He knows.
That's a heck of a big igloo. Woo.
Hey, don't question his igloo building prowess. The man can build an igloo. He knows he has no chance of pressurizing the entire space, and don't ever say no chance. We can get you a sub to help pressurize that space.
They exist, for sure.
It might break all your ice blocks, but whatever. It doesn't really care about shaking the room or the neighbors when big explosions hit. Anyways, he cares more about music listening than movies. And so if he sacrifices deep bass and focuses more on mid bass, you can actually hear, does it make more sense to even have a sub or subs rather than some capable full range towers? Either way, what speakers should he buy? In the KEF Q series clips reference premier price range. He'll be sitting about 8 to 10 feet from the speakers. Okay, well, that was the end of the question. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I still say get subs, just to start with that.
Okay, yeah, let's go with that. Let's start there, because honestly, I have no idea what ships to wherever the heck it is that you live. So
Yeah.
I like the Q series. If you like the Q series, you could be okay with the Q series. I'd be all right with that. But really, when it comes down to is you still need subwoofers. You need subwoofers because you want your bass to be coming from a place that makes the bass sound good in your igloo. All right, that is a very important.
I'm thinking more of that
point.
ice palace from that horrible James Bond movie. That's, remember that whole place that was constructed out of ice? It was the James Bond movie with the invisible car, and he turned it, flipped it over, and remember that thing? I can't remember which one that was, but that was
the Halle Berry one.
It was a Pierce Brosnan one, yeah.
Yeah, because the last Pierce Brosnan one, it was the Halle Berry one.
There was an ice palace.
There's ice bars, right? Don't you guys have ice bars in Vancouver? You have ice bars, right? Where you go drink vodka or whatever. I bet he drinks vodka in ice bars. Anyways, you want your subwoofers to your bass to be coming from there. You want the mid bass, the mid range, and everything else to be coming directly at you because it's less bothered by the room. I mean, it still can be and will be, but it's less. The bass, on the other hand, can be heavily affected by where it's coming from in your room. Therefore, you need the subwoofers. Do you need them to shake your whole house? No, you don't. And will they? Probably not. But you still need them. So you want those to be placed in the proper space. That's what subwoofers are for. That's why we recommend them.
Yeah.
So, should you get some capable full-range towers? I mean, your room, let me go back to it here. The room is 18 by 12 by 8. You don't need towers. You're not sitting that far away. You could theoretically, get some, but you're going to still cross them over at 80 hertz or whatever, and then send the rest of the bass to your subwoofers. I say get some capable bookshelf speakers that can play nice and loud.
I seem to recall in his email he mentioned Dali is available as well. So some nice Dali bookshelves with
those would be good.
A couple of nice subwoofers. That'd be really good.
That'd be good. I go with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Don't worry about it.
I mean, the Clips reference series, if you have the opportunity to audition them, the people who like Clips reference speakers really, really like them.
That's right.
And then there are also people who really, really don't like them. And it's probably a good idea to figure out which type of person you are, because if they really float your boat, nothing else is going to sound like those. If you, on the other hand, go, that really isn't what I want to hear, then I would say the KEF Q series, I agree, really nice. The Dali bookshelves, really, really nice speakers. So, out of all that, I think Tom and I are pretty much in agreement.
Yeah, so any tips on or guidelines on putting together a nice music priority system in a large space without trying to achieve big bass with huge subs? Let's just talk about this idea that you can have a system for music and a system for home theater. You have a system to recreate sound.
Sound, yes.
That is what you are creating. It doesn't matter to the speakers, to the subs, to the room, to anything, whether or not it's music or movies. Really doesn't matter.
Yeah, they just see voltage and amperage. They don't see music.
And your room doesn't care if the bass that's being played is an explosion or a tuba note or oboe or something like that. It's still going to affect that bass in the exact same way. It's going to affect it. Therefore, there is no difference in putting together a system for music or movies other than the number of speakers you're planning on using. In the end,
and perhaps the sound pressure level that you would like to be able to hit, which counterintuitively can actually be louder for music in some cases, because there are some people who are like, I want live rock concert levels, which is 120, 125 dB, which is louder than any movie. So it doesn't, when I say that, it doesn't necessarily mean movies louder than music. It could potentially be the other way around. But a lot of times people are like, I never want to listen more than 100 dB. I'm not trying to hit full movie reference levels. You go, okay, that now lowers what you need your subwoofers to be able to do. It now lowers what you need your speakers to be able to do, but it's still, sound is sound.
Yeah, and that's what it comes down to. So you need good speakers, you need good subs.
Yeah.
Do they need to be subs that pressurize your whole space? No. But they still need to be adequate to get the bass into the room without distortion, without them distorting. What does that look like? I don't know. SVS ships everywhere, dude. So
they do.
I mean, do they ship to you? Probably. I mean, do I say that you have to buy SVS? Absolutely not. If you got something local, you feel free to go with that. But you do want to be very careful that you are not underbuying your subs thinking that I don't want it to be very loud. It's not about loud. It's about capable.
Yes.
And if you want your sub to be audible in a good way without distortion, you need something that's capable of doing that without distortion, which sometimes will be loud and many times won't have to be. So getting an underperforming sub, thinking that I don't need it to be this loud, I'll just turn it down, just to get it so that you can hear it enough to know that you're turning it down, will put the sub into a place where it's distorting, it's creating port noise.
Well, that can be how people form the opinion that they don't like subs, that they just rather have full range speakers. So I can see where that comes from sometimes. Yeah. So in this room, I mean, I would, let me see here, it was 18 by 12 by 8, but open in every direction. The rest of the apartment. We're not exactly sure how
big that's going to be. Yeah, I mean, I would go someplace, just to be safe, someplace in the range of the 2000 series subs.
Yep.
I think that would be a nice, it would be a sub that that could put out enough output that you are going to hear it, even if you can't feel it, which is the difference between big bass and not big bass. And at the same time, if it's such a big room that it's swallowing all the bass, you're not going to kill it. And just,
and if ordering subs and having them delivered, because sometimes it is way more expensive than what we're getting in North America, like Klipsch's reference series subwoofers, like their 12-inch reference series subwoofer, a very nice, very capable sub that I think would work quite nicely. So apparently Klipsch is available. He mentioned them himself, and that's not surprising. Klipsch is all over the world. So if you need a sub that you can buy locally, I'd have no problem with that. I'd also have no problem with like a Velodyne subwoofer that they're all over the world as well. So it doesn't have to be SVS, certainly not.
Velodynes are decent subs. They're very, very good. The Digital Drive series is
excellent.
Is a very, very good sub, but you pay for that. You do. It's quite a bit more expensive than most of the stuff we recommend here. But if you said I got a 15 DD, I'd be like, all right, yes, that is a good sub. You would be very happy with that. You need two of them, but you would be very happy with that. So something in those lines. Yeah.
Yes.
Let us know how it works out, Yuri. Want your question answered? Send it to question@avrant.com. This is AVRant.
Now go out and listen to something.